Currently, I'm in Melbourne in Australia, and it is honestly a playground for street photography. I'm definitely not as confident yet. It is quite intimidating sometimes, especially having encounters with different people, and also to think quickly with compositions, because usually when I do my photo shoots I can think of a concept and I have one subject and that's the only thing I have to think about, but now everything is happening around you so fast and so quick, and that is exactly the reason why I want to challenge myself and bring you along for it. So let's just dive straight in, because we're going to Queen Victoria Market. On this market you can find pastries, fruit, veggies, like everything you can think of, and I think it's the perfect place to start off this street photography video. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been walking around here for I think half an hour, and I've only shot I think 3 photos that I am actually happy with. It's just that street photography, you feel like you trigger such a different part of your brain. You have to really look for shots and shoot through things and have the lights changing as well, so it's quite challenging. What I love to do for my street photos is use, for example, a window of a car as framing in my shot, or photographing through something else to lay more focus on the subject, because especially at spots like this, there's a lot happening in the photo, and this way we can still maintain the focus on the subject. So let's continue shooting. Hi, it's me just joining the chat. So I'm shooting with my R5 Mark II, and I'm alternating between 2 lenses. The first one is the 50mm f1.4 from Sigma, my favorite lens, so it had to be in a mix. Secondly, the 85mm f1.4, also from Sigma, and this is a pretty big lens for an 85, and also actually pretty heavy. But I will say, a couple months ago I did street photography with a 300mm f2.8. The lens is as big as my upper body. Is actually crazy. I did manage to take some pretty cool photos, but because I used that lens, it made the 85 feel like a pretty lightweight lens. So I'm not complaining. This is such a good spot to stand, because the trams keep coming and going, and people are just really fixated on getting home and not paying attention to me, which is great for these photos. Cool how we have like the building in the window of that car. Now, something I actually forgot to mention is when I was doing street photography, I had my headphones in, which is actually so nice because you are so in the zone and you're listening to music you love and inspires you. And I was feeling a little bit like a main character, so I can recommend you give it a try as well. I've linked my playlist in the description. This is the second day that I'm taking street photos. I'm about to head out to Brunswick. That is a neighborhood here in Melbourne with a very alternative hipster vibe. I kind of feel like it feels like Berlin, so I think it'd be great for street photos. So while I'm driving to my destination, yesterday I made a story post about if anyone had some questions about my street photography. And I actually got a bunch, so I picked a handful of questions and let's run through them together. Do you have the confidence to approach strangers and do street photography portraits? To be honest, that would actually be a pretty fun video to make. If I walk up to, let's say, 50 strangers and ask if I can take their portrait, it would definitely teach me to be a little bit more confident with approaching people. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see that video. That will actually take me the whole day to record, but I do it for you. How do you make your photos not boring? First one that comes to mind is using everyday scenery as almost a picture frame for your subject. I even do that when I'm shooting models as well. You can go as crazy as you want, but using something else to frame your subject honestly makes for such interesting photos. Another one I would say is don't shoot everything at eye level. So just squat down for once or even lay on your tummy to create an image that's actually looking up. What's your setup to film POV footage? So in this video, you're seeing iPhone 16 Pro Max footage. I've mounted it to my GoPro harness, but I also love to alternate with the PowerShot V1 from Canon. This is a really small and tiny camera which I can mount to the same harness. I just love to alternate between those two to keep it mixed up and different. Okay, next one is how do you know what to snap when you're out there and is it all planned out? Well, firstly, not everything is planned out because you never know. A thunderstorm might hit or the perfect character walks past. There are a lot of things you can't control, but I love to be at least somewhat organized and know what to look for when I'm out and about shooting streets. For that, I use Milanote, which is a familiar name on my channel. I've used them for so many projects and YouTube videos I've created in the past. So this is what my mood board looks like for the street photography session I'm doing in today's video. And as you know, street photography can be quite a lot, especially in Melbourne. There is stuff happening all the time. Trams are flying past, sirens are going off. It is crazy house. So I definitely need a plan to make sure I'm shooting with intention and actually know what to look for as well. First, I create a board and this is where the magic happens. And then I selected the video brainstorm template. It kind of reminds me of, you know, when in school you create a mind map. So in the center you can find the subject or what your project is about. And then I start planning around it. So firstly, let's start with the thing I find most important, and that is a mood board. I also just enjoy putting this together. And for that, I jump on Pinterest, find a bunch of photos that inspire me or have this certain look and feel I want to go for during my street session. I've also added some notes and some things that I want to remind myself of whilst I'm shooting, so it can be about the lighting or certain composition. And then I've got my inspiration section, and these are videos of other photographers that when I watch them, they just inspire me. They tickle something with my creative brain and I just want to get out there and shoot. Then next, I have my gear checklist. I jot down exactly what I'll bring, so I'm not just fumbling last minute or juggling around way too much gear. Then the location section is a big one, and I've pinned 3 locations I wanted to shoot at. Then the final section actually answers the following question I got, and that is, do you think about the color grading you will do later while you're shooting? And yes, 100%. So in my mind map, you'll find a section with images that have a certain just look and feel to them that serve as inspiration for my own editing. So about the editing, I've used the preset called Everything All at Once from my preset pack. Yeah, I'm super happy with how it turned out. If you want to check out my colors, my tones, my presets, then click on the link in the description. So jumping back to my Milanote board, that is pretty much all I need to shoot with intention and at least know know what shots to look for. And also I've got the app on my phone, so sometimes when I'm shooting, I'll just quickly go through my mood board and continue with my photo shoots. So whether you're planning a big project or just a casual afternoon with your camera, Milanote actually helps you shoot with intention and you're coming home with photos that you envision. Now, if you want to give Milanote a go, then click on the link in my description. That's where you can sign up with no time limit. So yeah, let me know how you go. Okay, but we still have some shots to take, so let's continue with our photo shoots. This is cool how you can like shoot through this window. I'm definitely gonna adjust my white balance. It's still like cooler tone from yesterday. So since it's gonna be sunset, I'm gonna set it at around maybe 7,000. And a fun fact, this bus stop right here is the spot I filmed my first ever short film.
Every day starts the same. Same spot. Same silence. And the world passes by in a loop. But every now and then he passes by. He moves like he's part of the wind. Like the world is something he rides through, not waits for.
I did a battle against Mike and we both had, I think it was like 4 hours to make a short film, and the theme was bus stop. I picked this spot right here and honestly still so happy with how that short film turned out. The colors were just beautiful, and it's actually sort of the editing I want to maintain within these photos we're shooting today as well. So yeah, let's continue. I love shooting through multiple layers of glass, just because then you get double exposures, or at least that's what it looks like. Sunlight's so pretty. Wow, that's beautiful. It's so interesting that especially towards the end of this second day, I was getting pretty quick at noticing shots and compositions. So I feel like you have to just be patient with yourself, because honestly, the good shots are worth waiting for. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I also hope to see you at my next one. Okay, bye bye. Doei.